All right, so here's the first step. So guys, what you actually need to do is you need to get a white towel, and it's pretty simple. So the first thing that you need to do is you need to make sure that all the hair is combed back. And again, like I said, this is only for a lace frontal hairline. So you hold your hair back, and what you want to do is with the isopropyl alcohol, you kind of spray it right through in the front, okay? Give it a few minutes, guys. Do not pull on the hair. And what this will do is this will actually very, very slowly release the lace from the actual scalp. And that's how simple that is. And again, the tutorial that I am doing for you is only specifically for the frontal hairline. So the rest of the system is attached. I just need to clean this frontal hairline up so it looks clean and fresh. All right, so what you want to do again, you want to grab your white towel, you want to take your alcohol, spray it on the towel. I like spraying it on the towel because it's not, so harsh onto the skin. And we want to grab it right through on the ends over here. And very simply in circular motions, you want to just roll the liquid off the scalp. So you can clearly see the glue is breaking down, and then what you then want to do is you want to grab on the same towel, spray the S3 that I told you, and what this is it's basic solvent. What it then does is it breaks down this onto the scalp very nicely, right? And you guys can clearly see how nicely that's broken down. So some of the residue might come off on the towel, and then you kind of just take a drier part of the towel. So this has the product on here. You take the drier part of the towel, and in circular motions, just kind of roll that right off, right? Go back again, and you guys can kind of feel it. It shouldn't feel sticky at all. If it does feel sticky, you go back again with the alcohol one more time, so it's repetitive. And again, this depends on client to client. So go back again with the isopropyl alcohol, again very gently in circular motions. What I'm doing is trying to get all that glue right off. Again, you can see how nicely that comes right off, right? If some of it comes right through on the ends over here, just kind of peel it off. There you go, guys. That's as simple as this. And this is a very important step because, like I said, if you guys are wearing a lace frontal hairline, in my opinion, in order for the lace frontal hairline to look really natural and really good, you guys need to have and take 3 to 5 minutes of your time, maybe perhaps once a week. Again, it depends on client to client, to make sure that your lace frontal hairline actually does look really clean, because the minute the lace frontal hairline begins to look a bit messy, it doesn't give you that natural look. And you guys can clearly see here how simple and easy this is, because remember, the back of the system is attached on, again, depends on client to client, but on average, I would say the back of the hair system is on for about a good 2 to 3 weeks, depending on how much you sweat and how long the system would last for you. So good question clients would generally ask me is, how often do I need to do the frontal hairline? And a very simple answer to that is, it depends on client to client. Now, if you are an active guy and you sweat a lot, I would probably say you would need to clean the frontal hairline up about every 4 days. If you live in a hot weather climatic conditions, like I live in Dubai right now, and clearly I need to make sure the weather is beautiful out right now because we are in February, but come June, July, where it gets a little warmer out over here, I want to make sure that this frontal hairline looks good. And what you could do is you can kind of run your fingers through onto your forehead, guys. And I know I'm talking a lot, but this is so informative that you guys actually follow what I do in order to achieve the best results. And at the end of the day, like I said, you can use your fingers and check to see if it's still tacky. If it's still tacky, you want to go back again one more time. And all I'm doing, as you guys can see, is I'm using the S3 and the isopropanol. The S3 is like, it would feel like a slight oil-based residue, but what that does is it very nicely breaks down all the liquid. You can clearly see clean up here on the sides. Don't be lazy, guys. Clean this up right here on the side. Make sure that it is nice and clean. And then the very important step is you always, now I kind of have taken out as much as I can, and my scalp feels really, really clean. But what I want to tell you is that you always want to finish last with the isopropanol alcohol to really remove the oil. Because if you just spray the S3 and then say, okay, it feels kind of clean, what I find, and it tends to happen, is that it still feels a little bit oily, and what the alcohol does, it just kind of, you know, cleans up all the oil that the forehead is producing. So one last time here, go back again, circular motion. And by the way, if you are wondering if this isopropanol alcohol and the S3 solvent that we use has any allergies or irritation to the skin, the answer is simply no. Isopropanol alcohol, as many of you know, is just a skin cleanser. If you know you cut your head or you have a bruise, it's basically the same isopropanol that they would use as a medical cleaner. And as far as the S3, I love this product because it's also amazing for sensitive skin. So if you're listening to this video and you are like me, I do have sensitive skin because I'm very careful to all the products that I use on my forehead. The S3 is also super sensitive, great for sensitive skin, and it feels great. So you guys can clearly see how amazing that skin feels. It feels nice and clean, it looks good. And that's it. So it's as simple as this. Now the next step, what I'm going to show you is I'm going to actually mark. So now you would need your comb, and what you would do is important step with this, make sure when you come out of the shower that all the hair is blow dried back, so the hair is not falling forward. So when I drop this lace, you can clearly see how amazing that is, that the lace sits right onto the scalp, and I would know now. So generally what would happen is a lot of people would have a tan line where the lace is and where the actual forehead is. So what I mean is once you go tanning, it would kind of create a nice tan line. So for me, I can kind of see where the tan line is and where the tan line is happening, but I still like to use my comb, right? So all I'm going to do is I'm going to just drop the lace. And again, it makes it very simple and very easy for me that I am able to just kind of, with the tail comb here, indent. So all I'm doing is I'm indenting really good marking, and this marking, I will tell you in a minute what this marking is for. But first, let me go ahead and press this down so you guys can actually see what this marking is for. All right, so I don't know, I really hope you guys can see this, but there's a fine line here, a nice indent marking, and what that is for me to use my adhesive for the frontal hairline. So I don't come lower than that and I don't mess up. So I would know that that is a nice guideline so that the liquid would sit perfectly. All right, you with me? All right, so what I tend to do is I kind of do these little drops as a nice guide, right? Just to kind of make sure, hey, you know what? These are the lines that I'd like to follow in. Again, rule of thumb is a lot of people, I've watched them, and a lot of people depend. You could use 2 coats or 3 coats, but again, it depends on client to client, like I said. And this is the beautiful part about our hair systems here at Worldwide Hair Hub. You have the absolute ability to control how many times you want to use the liquid frontal for the frontal hairline. For me, I'm a guy who likes to keep my frontal hairline clean at least every 3 days, 3 to 4 days. So what I tend to do is I kind of just use a little bit of liquid, all right? So I use 1 coat, And then if I feel the need to, and it's a little bit of a warmer climatic condition outside, I would use a second or third coat. As you can clearly see, the liquid was white. It disappears into a clear, right? Like I said, the rule of thumb is I put on one coat. Well, today I actually want to show you how nice it would be to put the second coat on. But what you want to do is you want to let that liquid dry for about a minute. Okay, a lot of times we would tell our clients to use a blow dryer, but put the blow dryer on cool, so the air will be cool, so it would dry faster. But I've just put a little bit of liquid on here, guys. This is a demonstration, so you guys can just have an idea as to how simple this is. And once I've kind of seen now, I put the first coat on, I want to very simply go back just on my glue stick. Sometimes you do not need to put it all the way onto the forehead. You can just apply it onto your glue stick and just kind of glide the glue stick on. You can clearly see it gets extremely tacky. You can see that where it does get fairly tacky on here. My skin tone, for someone like me, 2 coats are more than enough. I have seen clients where they would put a minimum of 3 coats. Again, it depends on client to client, but the rule of thumb is maximum 3 to 4 coats. Do not put more glue on, and this is very important, thinking that if I'm going to put more glue on, my hair system in the front is going to stick stronger, which is absolutely not. You want to make sure that you take your time with this, and you kind of use, what I like to use is the back of my pinky finger here, and you will kind of just very gently touch it, and you will feel it kind of tacky. So in that case, I would know, okay, great, you know, it's time for me to stop. Because what clients end up doing is, a lot of clients, and I've noticed this in the past, would say, okay, if I put more glue on, does that mean my hair system is going to is going to stick stronger? That's not the truth. Less is more. That's what I say. The great part about this small little bottle, if you're just doing your own home services at home, I would say 1 bottle should last you for about 4 to 5 months, depending on client to client, but 4 to 5 months is quite a long time. As you guys saw, I just put 2 coats. It's very easy to do this, right? So like I said, if you want, you can grab a blow dryer right now, but only blow dryer on cool air so that this would cool off and dry. But you can kind of tend to see that if you take a closer look right through here and also right through the end over here, the importance of that guideline in using this brush is that I don't come below, which is really nice. So I know, and I have confidence that when I drop the hair system down onto the lace frontal, onto my forehead, it's going to sit perfectly. All right, guys, so let's get to the next step. The next step is, so you kind of have a good idea. Okay, this is enough. The lace is, the liquid looks fairly dry, like I said. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just very gently, you do not need to pull on your system. You just need to let it drop very gently. And what's going to happen over here, you're going to take the end of the comb and you're just very gently going to press, right? You're just going to press on this, press on the hairline right through here. And you can clearly see, guys, the beautiful part about this is because the lace is such a perfect match to the scalp. What I would show you here is bingo. Look at that. I really hope you guys can get really close. I mean, look at that. That looks like it's growing right out of the scalp. Isn't that amazing? Right? And then what I would like to show you here is that what helps me a lot is that the hair is combed all the way back, right? And then you just kind of very gently press, and you can clearly see the importance of why I said make sure that you make a good marking. So it looks beautiful because it's a very clean frontal hairline. The hair is not dropped and it's messy where you have hairs that are stuck onto the forehead. But that's another tutorial video I will teach you on if that does happen, on how to clean that up. And then what you want to do is you probably just want to get a spray bottle. But for me, my hair looks fairly good. I mean, it needs to be blow dried, but all I'm going to do is I'm just going to comb it all the way back, right? I like this tooth comb. It has nice white teeth, right? Which is so important. And I like to comb out my hair. Again, I'm not a guy that likes to perfect my hair too much. I find the more messier it looks, the more natural it does. But the whole tutorial is, all I'm going here with the ends, is kind of, you know, making it a bit messy, right? But still super, 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 super natural, right? You can see the blending right in there. And there you go, guys. How easy is that? So I'm good to go for another, I would say another 4 days. Oh, one important thing, when you do your frontal hairline, for example, if you are listening to this video and you're following me and doing this frontal hairline today, do not take a shower right away, because what will happen is you need to give the liquid and the lace to attach very nicely onto the skin. So do not jump into the shower right away. You can still take a shower, probably wear what's the word I'm looking for? A shower cap. Thank you. So sorry. A shower cap. I guess that's what's happening when I'm trying to tell you guys all the information I can, which is so important. So wear a shower cap, and you can take a normal shower, but tomorrow you can definitely wash your hair. So I will come back to you on how to actually do a full hair system removal. But today's tutorial is very simple. As you guys can see, I know I'm talking a lot, but it's very important that you guys get all the information. 3 very simple products: isopropyl alcohol, the S3 solvent, Ghost Bond, which works very, very well, a couple of glue applicators, and of course your tooth comb, and do not forget your white towel. And one little, I'll end with this, always try to use a white towel and not a colored towel, because the filament from the color might come right out onto the scalp, and it makes it very, very messy. So there you go, guys. If I wasn't doing all this talking and you guys can follow it, I promise you a frontal hairline takes less than 5 minutes. I mean, as men, we like to look good. We have our beards trimmed, and you know what? Take 5 minutes of that time, like you brush your teeth, take 5 minutes of that time. Make sure that the frontal hairline looks good. Again, remember what I said, less is more. Do not put more liquid on. So thinking that the more liquid I have, the longer the frontal hairline is. So this tutorial is just for a lace frontal. I will leave a description down below of all the products. You can purchase these products on our website at Worldwide Hair Hub. And I am going to sign off, and thank you again, and have a great day.